In a world that worships data and cold hard facts, we often find ourselves trapped in the rigid confines of our own minds. We analyze, we calculate, and we obsess over every detail, yet the answers we seek often remain just out of reach. Our modern society views the brain as a biological computer, a series of gears and cogs designed to process logic without emotion. But what if the most powerful processor you own isn't located between your ears, but deep within your core? This is the internal battle we face every day. The conflict between the calculated path and the instinctive pull. From a young age, we are taught to suppress our first instincts, often being rewarded for ignoring the very things that feel right. The rational thinker stares into a mirror, only to see a reflection that doesn't follow the rules of geometry or physics. This ethereal self knows truths that logic cannot explain. It is the second brain, a biological marvel known as the enteric nervous system. Within your gut, millions of neurons are firing, processing information at a speed that puts your conscious mind to shame. It senses danger before you see it. It recognizes patterns before you can name them. It is your subconscious lighthouse. Think of your awareness as an iceberg. The logic you use to navigate your day is just the tiny visible tip above the waves. Intuition is the vast, hidden structure beneath the surface, filled with every experience and pattern your soul has ever encountered. It is the voice that whispers "not this way" when a dark alley feels just a little too quiet, or "yes" when a stranger feels like home. In the boardroom or the laboratory, the greatest breakthroughs rarely come from a spreadsheet. They come from a leap of faith. To live fully is to harmonize these two forces. To allow the rational thinker to shake hands with the intuitive being. When the rigid structure of logic blends with the fluid wash of intuition, we achieve a state of true clarity and peace. Stop doubting the signals from your second brain. It has been learning how to guide you since the moment you were born. Trust your gut. Reconnect with your instinct. Walk forward into the bright horizon of your own inner wisdom. Life often feels like an endless series of crossroads, where every single choice carries the weight of 1,000 potential futures. We stand frozen, looking at the paths ahead, wondering if one wrong step will lead to a destination we never intended. This is the trap of overthinking, a mental prison where logic turns into a maze and clarity is lost in the fog. In this state, our thoughts become chaotic lines of ink, swirling and knotting together until we can no longer see the truth. But there is a difference between the frantic pulse of impulsivity and the quiet, steady hum of true intuition. Impulsivity is a jagged, panicked reaction, a splash of ink thrown in haste that leaves a messy, unpredictable stain. Intuition, however, is like a calm, deep pool of water, reflecting a clarity that only comes from within. To find it, we must embrace the long pause, allowing the chaotic noise of the world to finally settle down. In that silence, a single flowing path begins to reveal itself, guided by a deep and wordless understanding. The ancients knew this well. The great philosophers often found their greatest truths in moments of quiet contemplation. They understood that wisdom is not a calculation, but a resonance between the soul and the universe. We live in an age of machines, of cold clockwork, and digital circuits that process information at lightning speeds. Yet, even the most advanced technology lacks the organic warmth and the instinctive spark that defines the human experience. When you finally trust your inner voice, you will find that your steps become lighter and your direction more certain. The chaos of the ink begins to clear, becoming translucent and bright as you align yourself with your true intuition. You are no longer running from fear, but walking toward enlightenment with a heart that is finally at peace. In the end, the greatest wisdom is found in the stillness of a peaceful heart and a clear mind. We live in a world that never stops talking. A constant stream of logic, data, and external expectations drowning out our inner landscape. We wear the mask of logic to feel safe, justifying every decision with facts while ignoring the subtle tug at our core. But intuition isn't irrational. It is the sum of everything we know but haven't yet found the words to explain. Facing the truth is often uncomfortable. We ignore our gut not because it's wrong, but because it's usually right about the things we fear. It reveals the relationships that no longer serve us, the careers that drain us, and the versions of ourselves we've outgrown. You stand at a crossroads. One path is bright, paved with the approval of others, yet it feels fundamentally hollow. The other path is misty and uncertain. It offers no guarantees, only the quiet resonance of your own soul. Change doesn't require a giant leap. It begins with the courage to listen to the whisper and take one small, manageable step. Think of it as a seed. Every act of authenticity, no matter how minor, strengthens the connection to your inner guidance. As you walk, the heavy ink of doubt begins to fade, replaced by the clarity of purpose and the warmth of self-trust. The transformation is quiet but profound. You are no longer fighting the current. You have become the river itself. Trust that voice. It is the only compass that knows the way to a life that is truly, beautifully yours.